Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to another video on the channel. If you were ever going to leave a like or subscribe on the video, you need to do it right now because in a couple of seconds you're just not going to want to because you're going to think, what is this guy talking about with how his team went last week? So let's get into it. We've got a quick review of Game Week 9, no matter how much I don't want to do it. And then we'll do a bit of a preview in Game Week 10 and take it from there. So here we have the team from last week, and I'm just going to get it all on the board and I'll just talk it through, in one big sort of swoop here. So, Saturday was okay, it was all right. Um, I was actually up about 300k by the end of Saturday. I'd had Salah as captain, which was all right, and even though Newcastle conceded, Trippier actually got subbed off, so kept his clean sheet and got a bonus point. But it was a little bit and and there wasn't that many games going on Sunday. But the main one was the Manchester derby, and you're looking at someone who still doesn't have Haaland as of last weekend, and it was just the final straw. It just cost me too much, and I was sort of keeping track of that game. And Haaland was scoring and getting assists, and it was just one of those moments where you just thought, "Oh, this is my team ruined." So I had to pick myself up. I actually went down about just over 2 million places in the space of a day. So talking about Son last week, how well, or a couple of weeks ago when I captained him, all those points, and how to keep going. And it's the same sort of needs to apply right now in sense of I've missed out on these Haaland points. Um, but we move forward, though. It's part of Fantasy League. Mitrovic didn't do it much. I think he got booked and then got injured. Same with Tony. I had good point scorers on the bench in Ward and Ben White who didn't come on. But that's just how it goes. So, looking at the fixtures for this week, and to be honest, there's a few good game weeks. I think obviously Haaland is a standout captain. Um, this game week. I think if you maybe wanted to captain Man United or Spurs player, maybe, but I just think if you own Haaland, just captain him at home to Southampton. It's a bit of an easy decision for me this week. So, on to my team, and we'll start in goal. We've got Henderson here, and I have pulled the move to get two transfers in. So Henderson starts in goal away at Aston Villa. Now, Nottingham Forest aren't that great at the moment, and they're conceding goals. I have Ward on the bench, so it's probably a swap at some point between Henderson and Ward. I was actually umming and ahhing about it for last game week, and I know it's easy to say now, and maybe I said it on a previous video, I can't quite remember. But it was the case, and I made the wrong decision, just like a few things that went wrong last weekend. Looking at the defence, not too bad of fixtures. I was looking at getting Arsenal players out. The transfers I've used, they're on other players, so I kind of had to keep Ben White. He'll probably move to the bench, and I'll swap him in. But Trippier at home to Brentford, possible clean sheet. Same for Fafana at home to Wolves, and same for Cancelo at home to Southampton. So I would be really hoping for three clean sheets in my defence this week. Into the midfield, and you can already see one big transfer that I've made. I've taken out Salah and I've got Bowen because I needed to free up funds for a big name striker. Saka at Liverpool at home. I mean, Liverpool aren't playing great, especially defensively, so it's not impossible for Saka to score there. He has been playing well this season. And Son away at Brighton, I think that could be a good fixture for Son as well, although Brighton did manage to shock Liverpool last game week, get that 2-0 lead, but just couldn't hold on. And like I said, Bowen, West Ham have some good fixtures. He's actually been in my wildcard teams the last few game weeks. I think he got something ridiculous like 10 goals and 17 assists, or something like that last game week. Or maybe it was the other way. Sorry, last season. Maybe it was the other way around. He had a lot of goal contributions last season, and he has been in the wildcard video teams recently. So I think it's time I probably took my own advice, especially since he got his first goal and assist last game week. Now, moving into the attack, I've not gone for Kane. I'm going with Haaland here, and I'm going to captain him. Right at the very start of my videos, I remember saying, you need to get Haaland in, captain him, just have him in your team. And I didn't listen to my own advice, and it's cost me too much now. And it is one of those decisions where if you miss out on points, you're reluctant to get this player in because you think, if I get this player in now, I just kind of admit that A, I was wrong, and B, I'll just be thinking about those points I've missed. But at the end of the day, after like 8 or 9 game weeks, there's so much of the season still to go. So if you sometimes you just got to know when you beat a bit and just cut your losses, and that's a real skill in fantasy league. And yeah, he's gone up 0.6 million, but at the end of the day, I need him in my team if I want to be successful this season. Even if he doesn't score any more points for the rest of the season, if he's this highly owned, I can't afford just to drop 2 million place in a game week. It's horrendous. Rounding out the strike force, I've got Mitrovic if he's healthy away at West Ham, and Tony away at Newcastle. Hopefully they'll play. Since that's hat trick from Tony, neither of them have actually done very much. So hopefully that'll turn around now. Rounding out the bench, we've got Ward at Bournemouth, away at Bournemouth. Like I said, I think that could be a good swap for me to get Ward instead of Henderson in, just as whilst Nottingham Forest sort themselves out a bit. Harrison at home to Crystal Palace. Now, someone like Harrison was 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 a player like Ben White that I was looking to transfer out. I had to just make the Haaland move. That took priority. I'm still looking at transferring wildcarding in game week 12. So that is a possibility. I just wanted to sort of stop the decline at the moment and address that major flaw in my team. Andreas away at West Ham, I think that could be a swap as well for someone like Ben White. I think Harrison or Andreas could easily come in for Ben White. And Nico Williams away at home to Aston Villa. Well, at the end of the day, it's a 4.14 million defender. So I'm happy for him just to ride the bench a little bit. So yeah, got rid of Salah and got rid of Jesus. I think some people might question the Jesus move, but to me, I'm not fully sold on Arsenal at the moment. But let me know what you think if you see the video. Like I said, if you still want to like and subscribe after watching the horrendous events of last game week with my team, that'd be appreciated. But I'd be interested to know what you're thinking of your team. Do you still not have Haaland in your team? Are you still sort of refusing to get him in? And if so, why? I could do with a few more excuses as to why I didn't get him in before now. So I don't mind hearing them. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.